Okay, so I thought I'd just make a quick video just to explain my thought process and just what I've come up with. Um, yeah, it's insane. So I was thinking about all the strategies that I've been doing for the past 3 years, and yeah, I just thought, what if volume profile was the missing puzzle, and everything else that we have been doing has not necessarily been wrong, but just missing a missing piece of the puzzle, which I think is volume profile, because it's just like X-ray vision into the market. So with that being said, I'll quickly just display what my thought process is regarding the process at the moment. So on the right hand side, I'm using the 12 hour with a simple moving average to determine the direction of the trend. And the reason why I'm using the 12 hour is because it's basically splitting the day in two. So I know for either the London session will be the continuation, or the New York session will be the continuation, depending on where the candle opens in relation to the SMA. So for example, we'll look at this price action on gold, where we could see on this candle. Let me just get the vertical line. On this candle over here, we have price. Let me just make it darker, thicker. Um, yeah, on this candle over here, we've got the confirmation in Asia and London that we have opened inside the SMA, which means we have a short bias coming into the New York session, which means the second 12-hour candle of the day is what I'm looking to take the trade for the expansion move down. I'm also using the master pattern on this side just to show me potential targets and levels. But as a rule of thumb, I am basically targeting the previous 12-hour candles low as my first TP level. So I'll plot that over there. That would be the first target, but we potentially could go all the way down here. This was also a target which we have already hit. So yeah, I will just use these as my two targets. Well, let's just use this one target just for illustration purposes. So yeah, everything is playing off on the 12-hour. That's the trade that we are taking, and then the 4 hour and the 5 minute is basically just confirmation. So the 4 hours where the trade gets validated, and the 5 minute is where we are looking for confirmation for entry. So what I'm doing is I'm basically looking at the second half of the day, the second 12-hour candle for expansion, and then I'm looking for A and V and SBR levels that price could potentially react from, right? So coming in, this is the 6 a.m. candle expansion, right? So price is already up here, which means what levels am I looking for? That's a potential level, which aligns with that. This is a potential level. So if you zoom in, there we've got SBR, support broken, turns into resistance. So those are the two levels that I'm interested in at the moment. Where price is over here, we're already above this, so potentially price could already react from here. But as you can see, we're already above it at the close of that candle. So um, with that being said, excuse me. With that being said, we've got our SBR, we've got our A levels marked out on the chart. Now we're going to go into the 5 minute to look for the confirmation. And let me just see. Yes, I think this is the price. Yeah, it's yesterday's price action. So here I've got the normal low volume nodes. I've got the CCI indicator on. Um, Firstly, what I'm looking for is I want to see price close above the CCI oversold conditions, which is 100 and 150. So that's a prerequisite for me. And this red line over here just denotes the 6 a.m. Change over to the next 12-hour candle. So I'm not looking for entries before that. I'm looking to trade like I said, the expansion of the New York candle, or the second half of the day's 12-hour candle. So over here, I'm looking for price to react from Low volume nodes, which are these light lines over here. We've got a low volume node that price is currently at, as well as on the current developing profile, we've got this low volume node area over here, right? We've also got the SNR levels above, so there's a lot of confluences from these levels. Low volume node, SNR level, low volume node on the daily developing profile. So now the next thing that and sorry, the CCI is oversold, or overbought, sorry. So the next thing that I'm looking for is I'm looking for either buyers to get trapped or sellers to get rewarded. Um, so we play price, right? We've got a big buyer that's already stepped in over there. Now I'm looking for price to close below that bubble for my entry. There's my entry. So that's my sell. Stop loss goes above that high. And now my take profit is ultimately determined by the 12-hour expansion, which is there's the first 12-hour low, right? So that's my first take profit that I can take the trade at. Or we can target that low over there. Um, and obviously we know how this trade plays out. Continue. Right down. Bang. What was that? I think that was potentially, I should have put this on. Let's quickly double check it. But that would have been an insane move. I think it's like a, let's see, risk the reward on that trade. Risk the reward on this trade is 24R, and it's effortless. It's not it's not complicated. It's not yeah, it's not a cowboy type of trading. There's a thorough process involved from A to B, of what we are looking for trade to get into trades. Now let's see if we had an entry on the continuation. I don't think there was a level that price reacted from, um, on the next half of the candle. Right, there we go. There's the next trade. There's the SNR level. Remember, we are still bearish on the 12-hour. There's our continuation. Come down onto the 5-minute. What do we see? Okay, so for this trade, we don't have a low volume node from the previous day. We've got a current day low volume node. This is a whole shelf area over here, which I would consider low volume node. You can see that the volume drops off significantly on the profile. It's oversold on the CCI. Now we're just looking for either buyers to get trapped, which means that there's a buyer that steps in and price closes below him, or there's a big sell order and price closes below that sell order. There we can see a buyer stepped in, price closed below. That's the entry. Stop loss above that, the swing high, and we can target the previous candle's low. Now we're having a bit of a pullback, but that's your TP over there, and we are going there, 12R. So yeah, it's just insane process at the moment. I don't know what to say other than it's an ATM.